Hi there, I'm recording this on September 30th, 2025, and that means two things. I want to thank everyone who met with me at the convention of the National Association of Innovative Lighting Distributors last week. And I want to say if you didn't meet me there, you should show up for the next one, because we're doing good work most of the time. You can visit them at nail.org, because of course they sponsored this little endeavor. And they also sponsored and helped me put together the Lighting Specialist Darkness Restoration 1 training program, which is specifically for lighting practitioners and specifically targeted at about improving the use of light at night in a way that respects everyone. People, animals, trees, everyone. It's coming soon. Keep your eyes on your inboxes for that press release. Let's get into the news, however, because the GLA University of India has released a paper in environmental management, and it lists light pollution as an emerging pollutant. This is a wide spectrum understanding of conservation, and it talks about light pollution as something we need to fix if we want to go forward. Allen and health in the U.S. We have a new study of Allen and health in the U.S. that shows that it's maybe too complicated to measure at like the big statistics level. This is a Chinese study using data from 3,014 U.S. counties, and they had a lot of trouble actually linking light with health outcomes due to, other health outcomes that tend to correlate with light pollution, because it's all bound up together. They did note that depression was linked with light pollution in many cases. The University of Würzburg has followed 176 women for 24 years and found that light at night is disrupting their menstrual cycles, specifically as light changes their falling out of sync with the general 28-day cycle. Really only coming back together at the end of the winter. Light pollution has also been determined to lead to excessive gestational weight gain. The Zunyi Medical University is not fat-shaming fetuses by any means. They are just finding that high gestational weight is linked with a number of complications during pregnancy and during birth, and that maybe excess light at night should be curbed to reduce that excess gestational weight gain. Chronic insomnia has been linked with cognitive decline. This is a Mayo Clinic study that followed 2,750 participants, all of them over 60, over the course of 5 years, and they showed not only declines alongside sleep time decline, but also general changes in risk factor to cognitive impairment long term. Circadian stability is key to neurodevelopmental disorder management. This is a UCLA study of mice that found that mice that were induced to have neurodevelopmental issues did better if their sleep-wake cycles were well managed. Your gut microbiome has circadian rhythm. Sichuan University has noticed activity changes in the individual microbes in your intestine, and they are not entirely sure what that means exactly, but it does mean that maybe we could use that in the treatment of depression. Maybe. Another Chinese study has found that winter light therapy boosts mental health in Chinese teens. This is a year-long study of 1,500 students that showed that they were offered some lighting interventions, and they fared better in the control group, particularly in the winter, when they might be experiencing something like seasonal affective disorder. Sleepiness has been linked with skin temperature. An attempt to find an objective tiredness metric, because right now when we talk about tiredness or fatigue, it's all about subjective reporting, and we have a very thorough metric for that. But we need something more objective, something that doesn't depend on perception. And what they found is that if you ask people to report their subjective fatigue and then also measure the temperature of their skin at the same time, that surface temperature does correlate with the reported tiredness, which could improve sleep studies overall. Hospital workers in Jordan are self-medicating with sleep aids. This is a study that shows half of residents, being the rank of doctor, the rank of doctor, they are using over-the-counter options, and the study calls for greater sleep health plans for hospital staff. Bats in New Zealand are doing better under amber LED. This is new research conducted on the North Island that found that bats, well, were most active based on vocalizations in areas with no light. Amber lighting did fare better in terms of activity than blue-rich standard white light. Light pollution is increasing tiger mosquito activity. This is a study conducted in St. Louis, Missouri, that found that day-active mosquitoes are switching to nighttime activity based on light and heat. It's worth noting that the tiger mosquito spreads yellow fever, dengue fever, chikungunya fever, the Isutu virus, and probably also Zika. Salvador Barra has published the Light Pollution Regulations in the Kingdom of Spain, Challenges and Perspectives. This is a new preprint analyzing what really needs to happen to change light pollution laws in Spain, and that is available for download right now, link in the description. Kauai has launched a new bird protection program. The Pacific Missile Range facility in Mana is planning new lighting changes for fledgling season. In that area, we have to deal with the endangered Newell's shearwater and the endangered Hawaiian petrel. This started on Monday, and it's going to continue through till December 15th. Lapalala Wilderness Nature Reserve is the first park recognized by DarkSky International in South Africa. It covers 48,000 hectares, 1,700 lamps, and this area is home to 2 wilderness lodges for tourists, and also it is a habitat for 5 major endangered species, including the black rhino, the white rhino, the African wild dog, and the pangolin. Nasabi, New Zealand is the country's first dark sky community. The town is a tourist town. It's home to 150 year-round residents, but does serve 3,000 tourists each summer, which is coming up real soon in New Zealand. In North Carolina, two lodgings, two ranches, 2 dude ranches, the Cataloochee Ranch and the Swag, have earned a dark sky approved lodging status. These are both near Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Between the two of them, they cover a little more than 1,000 acres. There we go. In Virgin, Utah, they are back at the debate table at Town Council, again considering a dark sky bylaw because they have a bunch of grants to deal with in terms of budget allocations, and that could be spent on exterior lighting. Cottonwood, Texas is beginning to seek a dark sky designation with a new ordinance coming online. This will come along with $500 fines per day for newer buildings that don't comply. Migration season continues with hundreds of millions of birds making their way south for the winter, which means we have advocacy campaigns going ahead in North Texas, all of Oregon, all of Illinois. College Station, Texas is doing their own part. And in Raleigh, North Carolina, the town is actually turning off non-essential lights run by the municipality in the hopes that residents and businesses will follow their cue. Bel Air, Texas is debating sign variances with new businesses provoking questions about operation and size. Miami, Florida has approved a 10-story LED billboard, but it does have to be off between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m., and the ambient lighting has to be less than 1/3 of a foot candle when measured from 250 feet away. Turtle unsafe lighting in Glynn County, Georgia is still on. This is the Buc-ee's at the I-95 station. It's still visible from 12 miles away from the beach. In Las Vegas, the Latter-day Saints have broken ground on a new temple in Lone Mountain. This has been the subject of a lighting. This has been subject to lighting complaints and proposals for a few years, but it is going ahead. In Belgium, Harelbeke is switching over their street lighting plan from dark after 11 to just dim after 8. They've changed their plan. So previously, all street lighting was off after 11. Now they're just going to cut the brightness by a considerable percentage after 8. The energy savings should be about the same, but there is just a bit more light for people. In Essex County in the UK, they are going back to full night lighting. There's no actual crime data to support the change, but people just want to feel safe when they're asleep. Again, I really would like it if just these decisions were left to people who are actually awake at night, but they don't have time to go to town council meetings because those happen during the day. The morning people are deciding everything for us, and we need to talk about that privilege being taken away from them. The FCC is reducing their environmental oversight in space. They believe that this is an international concern, not a U.S. concern, even though they're the ones regulating the telecommunications that are in low orbit now. They are trying to have their cake and eat it too. They want to launch as many satellites as possible so that a handful of companies can control 5G connectivity in rural regions, which means no one has to dig fiber optic cables, even though the government's been paying internet providers to dig fiber optic cables in more regions. And this is just an abdication of responsibility on top of an abdication of responsibility. DarkSky International, the American Astronomical Society, and the American Bird Conservancy have all registered complaints with this ruling, because if you're gonna put things in space, you have to be responsible for them, guys. Meanwhile, Vodafone specifically has been accused of ruining sky views. They're entering the low-orbit 5G connectivity market, and that plan is drawing the same complaints as everyone who enters the low-orbit connectivity market. Lastly, Walmart stores are not switching their lighting over to 10,000K. That's just a weird internet rumor. What they're actually going to do is keep their lighting at about 4,000K, unless you go during sensory-friendly hours, which more stores are adopting. If you've never been, I suggest you try it. It's pretty relaxing. Anyway, I've been Scott Wachter. I want to thank you for your time, your attention. I will be back in 2 weeks. Take care of yourself. See ya.